Let me continue the conversation with Major Jolly and Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, who is with us right here in the Noida studios of CNN News 18. Lieutenant General Kulkarni, I'd like to understand from you. There was some amount of intel that did suggest that a lot of breeding ground is happening inside Kashmir, and there are terrorists who are crossing over definitely and using, let's say, these OGWs to go ahead and indoctrinate them and then go ahead and do something as ghastly, as dastardly as the Pahalgam attack. But to say that in a different way and then go ahead and assume, and I'm just borrowing the words of Mr. P. Chidambaram, that they are not Pakistanis, what does it make of the statement that has been made by a senior Congress leader?
See, at this point of time, I would feel that it would have been much better no such statements are made, because Pakistan, even if you go back in history, right from 47 onwards till date, it has been using terrorism as an instrument of state policy. Having said that, Pakistan knows for sure. We know when we hit the terrorist hideout and the complete infrastructure was destroyed, 9 of those, where you had Masood Azhar saying that I wish I had died because his entire family got wiped out. And you had Lashkar-e-Taiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Murdike, Bawalpur, Hizbul Mujahideen, all of these terrorist camps destroyed, and accurately, without causing any collateral damage, was indicative that, and again after that in the funeral you saw how the Pakistani army officers, very senior army officers there, politicians there, at the funeral of their families. That is a clear indication of the involvement, and that they are terrorists or fronts or whatever it is, none other than acting as proxies of the Pakistan state. If that be so, and then we are asking that, come on, give us proof. Then you have the resistance front having been declared as a terrorist outfit by USA. Why would it do it? It would only do it because the terrorist front accepted it. Of course, it negated it later, what under pressure from Pakistan or whatever it be so. So the resistance front is a party involved in doing what it did at Pahalgam by picking up people on religious lines and then killing them in front of the family members. It's very clear. And a week before that, you had their chief of the army staff say very clearly, two-nation theory, and he's a rabbit, an absolute man who seems to have been radicalized, and the way he speaks is indicative, is actually brought up in a madrasa where he's not speaking the language but normal people should be able to speak. So the two-nation theory talk, then again a week later you have a Pahalgam attack, and then after having that, we know for sure that this is, even though what you are saying, I would accept that yes, they are homegrown, there are a lot of people from within the Kashmir Valley who would be a party to it, without which none of these people from across can even survive or sustain themselves unless they have this logistic support coming from the local, whom we call OGWs, call them by all other means, giving them all kind of support. There is no denying the fact, and therefore it's very important for us to ensure that these are terrorists and that they have caused something which is wrong. That there was a plan to create a communal divide between the Hindus and the Muslims, which did not succeed, and therefore it is essential that we must not come out in support of Pakistan. I thought this kind of statement that come on asking the government, how are you, why have you done Operation Sindhu if you don't know this kind of a thing happened, I think it's incorrect. It was, you almost gave a feeling that they were talking as spokespersons of Pakistan. They are not the spokesperson of Pakistan. They have held very important portfolios in the government of India, and therefore whatever they speak must be spoken with a lot of deliberation and not. And this is the point when we have come out great success. I think Operation Sindhu was a great success.
Absolutely. In fact, and like you said, Lieutenant General Kulkarni, Major Manik Jolly, best is to not speak at all and deliberate so much on what really has happened, because here we are talking about, and I request, in fact, we have the graphics on our screens. We do know who the Pahalgam plotters were. We see those masterminds, Lashkar chief, we have the TRF, which has been named and shamed. The matter has gone to the United Nations Security Council. So all of that has come about, and then to come out and for a senior Congress leader like Mr. Chidambaram to say that why go ahead and assume that they are Pakistanis, what does it make of us Indians? Because we have seen the dastardly terror attack. We have seen so many lives that have been lost. the least that one can do is accept where the blame is. I think the only question that could have been asked was, where are the terrorists still? Why have they not been caught?
Yeah. So, totally agree with you. I think the statement on its own ground sounds very illogical to say, coming from such a senior person who's held portfolios like finance, home and everything. He started one of the biggest investigating agencies in the country. And there's a concept called Occam's razor. If everything is sounding illogical, just go for the simplest solution. And the simplest solution here is, Pakistan has been orchestrating terrorism in this country for 4 decades. Active terrorism, Punjab, then Kashmir, right? Forget what they've been doing in 47. This is active terrorism. All terror attacks have happened through Pakistan. All terrorists that have been caught have been Pakistanis or trained by Pakistan. All terror camps are in Pakistan. Entire funding comes from Pakistan. The support comes. So where is the doubt that these guys would not have been Pakistani? Just to, trying to answer that logically. I mean, who else would be interested? Do you think Libya, Syria or, Afghanistan would be sending terrorists here with the agenda? No. This is purely, definitely Pakistan. And also the fact is that these cannot be homegrown. You ask any infantry or intelligence guy or RRSF guy, anybody who's operated in counter-terrorism, they would confirm this very solid, that the kind of operation Pahalgam was, this cannot be done without the clear conduct, direction and operational control of somebody from their army. These guys came in, did an operation and then vanished in thin air. It means it was a very well thought of and a planned operation. Your homegrown terrorists, which he's referring to, and I'm trying, he's trying to give a sort of a very weak alibi to Pakistan, that these could have been locals who just, wanted to conduct terror in their local area. No, that is not. This is not the level of operation these
Absolutely. And
local
Major
homegrown
Jolly, we've had intel where we have, in fact, that information that there was this particular terrorist, and we are talking about Saifullah Kasuri, who was very much there on Indian soil.